I got plenty of time to whip your ass. Awesome.
All right, so today's another day to attack the recovery process of my body. This ain't no massage envy, although there's pillows here.
Oh.
But there's things very far from it being comfortable. This is not your sweetest massage. This is not even deep tissue. This is intense pressure. So I'd like to introduce you to Brett. Brett and his team.
How are you?
Ready to rock and
This
roll?
guy, we're gonna crush him today. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your background. What did you do before massage?
Played music most of my life. Couple big bands in the 80s and 90s. Traveled the world 2-3 times and got massage a lot because of the intense headbanging and everything. Keep myself together. So that's kind of how I fell in love with the whole massage thing.
So what are we working on today? We're working on just getting me loose.
Yeah, we're gonna loosen you up. I know that your trainer is always talking about your hips.
Okay.
We do know about your shoulders, but we're gonna work all through the hip flexors, hamstrings, quads, lower back. Yeah, we're gonna do, and hopefully you guys are into screaming because you're gonna hear something. It's gonna be good.
And after I'm done with him, I got Doc in the back. Doc.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
We're gonna do a little snap, crackle, pop.
Sure, how you doing?
So this is like a 1-2 punch here. So Doc, we're gonna do some adjustments. Why is chiropractic care so important, especially
Sure.
in an athlete's type of body? People want to stay active.
Yeah, absolutely. Chiropractic care is a great, natural way of health care. And particularly for athletes, it's a great way for performance and recovery. By adjusting the spine, the joints are moving better. Muscle activation is stronger. Recovery time tends to be faster. Whether you're into, just general organized sports or you're into, focused training, whether it's MMA or weightlifting or powerlifting, a lot of people utilize chiropractic care for performance and recovery purposes.
So for entrepreneurs like me who go through a lot of stress, it's something that a lot of people overlook because sometimes they may not think that their body is taking on a lot of the stress and tightening up.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a great way for stress reduction, not only physically, but also emotionally. I think it makes a big difference. The problem is a lot of people just aren't aware of it. Some people aren't even aware of what you can do chiropractic care or what you can utilize it for, other than when somebody thinks they had an injury or they had back pain per se. But yeah, a lot of patients respond extremely well, of all ages. I treat, some of the high level athletes. I treat men and women as well as, families and children from time to time as well, and it works great.
Cool. So Brett's gonna loosen me up because I'm so damn tight right now. So it's easy for him to move me around. So this should be fun.
Yeah. So typically for patients who are really tight, a lot of times Brett will do the myofascial work, and then I'll get in and I'll adjust them afterwards. Tends to make the adjustment a little bit more effective. Cool. So cool.
All right, ready.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready. Let's go, bro.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
Here we go, man. Let me get. Oh, you know what? I forgot my mouthpiece. I need to go get my mouthpiece. I'm gonna be screaming my up in a minute. Hold on.
Oh, you better bring it. Alrighty, Massage Mayhem. What's gonna happen here with Matt? Matt comes in, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Probably from just prior stuff, being in the military, tearing his body up. Also mental stuff, entrepreneur, kicking it all the time, crushing it. He's got a lot of stress probably, but he turns it into good positive stuff. So it's an honor to work on him because I love his business and his attitude, so this is going to be awesome. So we're kind of going to start with his glutes. We're going to work his glutes, we're going to work his hamstrings to help take some tension off that low back of his. Unfortunately, I'm going to sweat a lot because of the new rules and wearing masks in here, but you know what? We're going to do what we got to do to stay safe, right? Touching a lot of areas here, even getting down into some of the deeper muscles underneath the glutes, so gemellus. And yeah, if you get a picture underneath that cradle, you'll see some good facial expressions, I guarantee you. Here we go. Yeah.
Hardest part just telling yourself to relax.
Right. Back up. Kind of going opposite directions. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's swimming the shore. You can see his feet kicking. Scream really loud if you think I'm the best massage therapist. Yeah, see? You know. Yeah, reborn. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Sounds like my cat.
Just trying to breathe.
Right?
So what causes one side to be more adhesive than the other?
Well, I mean, it all depends on what you've had. I mean, in the past, if you've had injuries and maybe didn't go in and get them taken care of, so a lot of scar tissue's built up in the area, right?
Yeah.
Stretching is a huge thing, you know. We need to stretch. You know, mobility becomes a little less activating when we start to
Get older.
head north in the age department, I say. So all those traits there, all that stuff has something to do with it. You get a little sensitive in here to the heart side. Left side, you got a little more heart, so the nerves are a little bit more activating here. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna try to really get in there. You let that elbow go with your mind. Let it go. There you go. If you let that mind go, you're not gonna hold that back. The mind is huge. His mind blocks, like all of us, a lot of movement because his mind's saying, no. Remember that that's tight, that hurts. So when he lets his mind go, we can get the shoulder to go back. Very important. I mean, a lot of this stuff could be structural, but sometimes it's mental.
Wow.
It's just holding back
Wow.
the thought process is telling the muscles not to move.
Oh, how's that translate to business? A lot of business listener right there. Oh my.
Right there. Nice. Woo! It's like a sweat box in here. You gotta love it. Man.
So I think one of the most profound things he told me, which we translate that into business, is sometimes your progress as an entrepreneur, a lot of it's mental. And not maybe because you don't have the skill set or maybe that you can't do it, it's all mental. And once you're able to break through, I have somebody here, again, work you from a different angle. Here is physical, but in business is mental. But here, the easiest way to push my limits and to remind myself of that is through the physical capacity. But if you translate what we're going through, what we're experiencing right now as an entrepreneur, that a lot of the things that we put as a roadblock may not be necessarily a skill set or because you can't do it. It was you're telling yourself you can't do it. Nuggets there, huh?
From a mechanical standpoint, you look up further towards the hip and to the low back. You know, and what we'll take a look at is we'll do some adjusting, some side posture adjusting, and then we'll take a look and see where your hip extension is. We'll see if the knee flexibility changes a little bit more in addition to what Brett already did, and we'll see if there's any other functional improvement with it too. So let's do this. Let's have you hop on down. You know, along with everything else that we're gonna adjust and work on at the same time. So just go ahead and go face down for me. Let's take a look. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
So then you can go back into normal ranges of motion and take some of the stress away from the joint.
Yeah.
Typically what you'll find is the glute muscles will be weak and the quads will be too tight, typically when you have knee issues like that. So another quick test we're going to do, and then we'll hop into the adjusting, and I'll go back to how that all kind of ties in together. Keep the whole leg nice and straight and lift it up off the table for me. The whole leg, like the whole thing, and like raise it up towards the ceiling the best you can. Go ahead, do the right side first. Yeah. And then back down. So the first thing that comes to mind is one, he should be able to go higher. Two, he's rotating offwards, right? Yeah. So the hip isn't moving correctly, or the muscle isn't strong enough to elevate that properly. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look. We'll check the other side out. Yeah, and back down. What do you notice when you lift those? Is it difficult to lift them up? Do you get tension or tightness in the back? What do you experience?
You know, it is. I am facing it in the back, facing tightness in the back.
Go ahead. Same at both sides. You feel that?
Yeah. This one here, it's easier, obviously, to lift up. This one
is even harder, right?
Yeah.
You can see him rotating off through there. So, and guess what? That's the same side that you have more problems with the knee. That's right, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some adjusting for the hips and pelvis on each side, and then we're going to go back and we're going to retest the hip extension and your knee flexibility.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to pull you a little bit closer. All right. Good. There we go. And we'll kind of get you on the side. We'll let you go ahead and we'll pull you through. This is going to come up a little bit more if you can, and try to let it relax the best you can. Nice and easy. Good. There we go. Good. And then go ahead and go on your back for me.
good.
A little bit of movement, not too bad. So stay on your back for me on this one. We're going to get the upper back and the shoulder here. Go ahead and hold on. Yep. And we're going to run through, get you adjusted. Good. One more. There it was. And then we're going to go a little bit lower. Your flexibility is terrible.
You gotta work at.
Yeah. Oh my God. Go ahead and come a little bit closer. We're going to bring this guy up too. best that we can. Did the knee, by the way, recently kind of flare up on you?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the dam. I think it may have been almost a gut there.
Go ahead and relax. I mean, I'm gonna let you kind of just hang that one down. I'll kind of work around it best that I can. Good. There it was. Good. And now let's go ahead and go on your back one more time. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Good. Oh, nice. There you go. There you go. Good. Okay, so let's do this. Let's have you flip back over. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check with these spots.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. So now, just for the heck of it, let's go back and we're gonna take a look at this. So keep this guy nice and straight, and go ahead and try to bring this guy up for me. Oh yeah, much faster, right?
Yeah.
Less tension on the back with
Yeah,
that.
uh-huh.
Let's go ahead and we'll hit this side too. Right, and back down. Less tension through there.
Yeah, less tension. Yep.
Nice. Basically, it's really that simple. So they kind of tie in together, I guess, is the point. And that would be it's a little bit of a weak point. So when you're on your laying face down and you're going into that extension position and you can't get up through there, part of it's because the joints are weak, or the joints are stuck, and part of it's because the hip muscles are a little bit weak in relationship to the quadriceps. So it's working on strengthening and improving the mobility down here will also in turn help improve the flexibility of the knee. So, so the point is we just keep working on what we're doing, and you have a flare up, hit it a couple more times in a row, and it should continue to be helpful for you.
Awesome.
So cool. Awesome,
Appreciate
man.
it,
Very good.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you.
Here it is. All right, so here are my 3 biggest takeaways from seeing a chiropractor, going through cryotherapy, and dealing with a massage therapist. First one, this might be sounding cliche, but no pain, no gain, right? Oftentimes as an entrepreneur, that we strive to go out and say, I'm gonna make $100,000 a year, I'm gonna make $1 million a year, I'm gonna start a business. There's some pain in that, there's some heavy lifting. And so what taking care of my body reminds me when I go through my business is that there's gonna be some areas of big discomfort, major discomfort. If there's something I want to be comfortable in, I want to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Obviously these professionals here, and obviously through medical care, they know the limitations of the body, they know how to see the body, they know how to make sure they take care of the body, to make sure that there is some discomfort that's not there to injure you. Translate that to business. When you're around your business, when you're around your advisors, when you're on your counselor, you're on your coach, your board, your fellow employees, you gotta make sure you do the things necessary to grow, to develop, to make the expansions necessary, the processes necessary, to make sure that you don't end up injuring your business, that you don't injure yourself, that you don't put yourself at financial risk, financial harm, so to make sure your business continues to grow, develop, and you get out of your business what you're looking for. Second part is mental blocks. Listen, coming out the military, one of the things I did not do, sadly, which I did not do, was take care of my body when I started my business. And literally for close to 20 years, my body, some of the areas of flexibility, mobility, scar tissue developed because I stopped moving. I didn't even give a shot to decondition myself. I just stopped working out completely altogether without a regimen coming out of the military. Translate that to business. Sometimes we go through our life with an old blueprint. And the thing about those mental blockages is that you think you're doing something right, but when somebody on the outset says, you know what, you have a lack of mobility here, you have lack of flexibility here. Translate that to business. You think you're going your phone calls right. You think you're going through your negotiations right. You think you're hiring the right people the right way. But how do you know until somebody's there to coach you, teach you, and guide you that it's wrong? Or you're able to self-assess that you're just not getting the results you wanted based on what you think you're doing. And so the correlation between physical fitness and financial business fitness is making sure that we mentally don't get in our own way. And the third one is really understanding your weaknesses. When Doc was going through, he said, listen, every time I work on you, your flexibility. So here's my strengths in the gym. My strengths is bench, big compound exercises. What I realize I need to work on right now with my trainer says, bro, how do I work on my flexibility? How do I work on making sure I get that range, those ranges of motion back again? How can we do exercise to make sure that if certain areas of my body are strong but areas are weak, it's keeping me from the results I'm really looking for? So in business, the cool part, I remember Kobe Bryant saying, I need to work on my weaknesses. He needed to work on his weaknesses as a sophomore, junior in high school, so therefore he become the #1 basketball player in high school. So in our business, the benefit of working on your weaknesses is sometimes you can not only identify your weaknesses, but you can hire people and delegate those weaknesses too. If that's their strong point, and they feel their A game in that area, and you don't, you can actually hire your weaknesses. You can actually hire people that are good at that scenario. And this is what reminds me, listen, let me stay in my power spot, not because I don't want to improve that skill set, but I might not get the right type of energy when applying it, because I want to make sure if I'm building my business, I'm always in my A game. I make sure I will come to my office, I want to be there. I don't loathe it. I'm saying, oh, you got to do this again. So the benefit of being an entrepreneur is understanding your weaknesses. So therefore, your weaknesses, once you've addressed it, whether you do it yourself or you delegate it and create a job for it, you can have a very strong offensive strategy to your business and not respond to your business because you've addressed your weaknesses.